this, come over here. After reaching this, come over here. After reaching this, get the scroll bar active. Let me show it to you. So I mean, hi, my name is Darshan and something extra, something. I'm not typing enter. Okay, I'm not typing enter. Now observe, a scroll bar will get active, and you can see over here the scroll bar has become active. Okay, scroll bar has become active. And okay, now if I just scroll on, I have this. If I maximize this, you have the same thing. Okay, move down, or you can move up, or you can move down, and this is what you have. So now let me explain you what exactly happened over here. We understand what is tk.word. This is also clear to us. And then we say over here, this last thing, it has to be set at column is equal to 0. Okay, it is being set. Oh, so this is, my friends, this is column 0, this is column 1, and this is column 2. So I say my scroll bar is going to start at column 0. So that is precisely this part of it. Okay, this part of it, my scroll bar is going to start. And what is my column span? Why didn't I specify the row number? Well, that's fine. I could have specified the row number also. It's okay if I don't specify. By default, it will be pasted at the bottom. But what is column span? If you observe over here, how many columns do I have? 1, 2, and 3. So when I say column span is equal to 3, I mean that this text box should be stretched across 3 columns. If there were even 5 columns, okay, if the GUI was up to here, the text box would be only up to this. These two things will not be used. That's exactly what I understand by column span. Let me show it to you by changing the value. Let's say column span is equal to 1. Execute it. So now you understand what is column span, right? Is this entire thing clear to you now? This is exactly what is column span. So on this note, I'll just give this code for main low, and let me see if you still have any questions related to this. So yes. Oh, why is it not getting pasted? Yes. So any questions till this part? How to mention row in it? If we want to, just write row is equal to. Just write row is equal to as usual. So the reason I purposely did not mention it to show you that sometimes it works automatically also. However, it is not a recommended practice. I'm telling you that also. It's not a recommended practice. Yes, 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 yes. Exactly like that, ma'am. Yes. You can try using that also. Perfect. Okay. Everything clear to all of you guys till this point? Everything is clear. Can I move ahead? Any questions so far? Yes. I hope everyone is active. We have 31 participants. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Suhasini ma'am. Thank you, Dattatreya sir. Perfect. So we can proceed, right? The next one, which is called as label frame. Okay. So adding a cell after this, and I say over here, we are going to start with label frame. Now, what is exactly that? First of all, let me use the same code and then explain you what is label frame. So pasting it. It's not required for me to write this anymore. I can just take it down. Okay. Now, whatever code I want, I'm going to write it over here. So first of all, let me explain you what is going to be a label frame. I think explaining this is going to be difficult, but in short, I will just tell you, because I think better I show you the output rather than explaining you in a confusing way. If this is your GUI, and we know that we created something over here, and the last one was the column span. Now inside this GUI, I'm going to add a frame. Okay, inside this I'm going to add a frame. Inside this I'm going to add a frame. So inside this GUI I'm going to add one more GUI. You can think of this like that. How? Let's look at it. So it's a very small code, not really very small, but yes, comfortable. I'm going to create a container to hold labels. So I say my variable is going to be labels frame, and I say ptk dot label frame win, and the text is going to be labels in a frame. Setting the grid, so I say labels frame dot grid. Below that, column will be 0 and my row will be equal to 7 in this case, because we reached up to 6. Okay, so because this is at 4, so after this was at 5 and this is at 6, so I set it to 7. Okay, you can also set it to 6 if you want to, but let it be 7 now. Then what am I going to do is I'm going to place the labels into this container element. Let's see how. So I say over here what label I want. So I say ttk dot label. Now this is something which we all know, but I'm not giving win over here. I am trying to insert a label into the label frame which I have done. When I move on to the code, it will become 100% clear. Right now, please let me proceed for next 1 minute, and it will be clear in just a couple of minutes from now. So label 1, and I say dot grid, and I need to specify the column and row. So I say let this be 0 and let this be also 0. You'll understand what I mean over here. I'm going to paste this twice. This time it is going to be label 2. This is label 3. And my column numbers are going to change. This is my 1. This is my 2. Please mute. Please mute. Paste. Okay. Executing it. Just observe. And then I'll explain you the code over here as well. So the first thing, if I just maximize it, I mean, you got to observe it very much cautiously. Inside this entire GUI, there is one more GUI which is added. If you just move your eyes very near to the screen, you can see there is a line which is running like this. Okay, you can see there is a line which is running like this. I just highlighted that line. In case if you are watching it from the mobile, I doubt you'll be able to see it. So this is a label frame. I remove it. You can see over here there is a small line over here which is faded, of course, but yes. So that is, I have added a GUI inside a GUI. Okay, so what I'll do is now initially I'll reduce the size of it so that we can introspect it with the help of code. So friends, over here I say that ttk dot, I say over here ttk dot label frame. So this is exactly the frame which I am talking of, and the name is going to be frame. This entire thing is set up inside win, so that's done. This is called as labels frame, and its position is 0, 7. So this is also done. 7th row and 0th column. Perfect. You can see over here, I mean, it is getting over here. This is 0th column, this is 1st column, and this is 2nd column. So yes, this is also done over here. Column wise we are all set. After this, I say that I want to create a label. Now this is not anything which is new to us. ttk dot label. Okay, in fact this is also not new to us. This is not new, this is not new. Okay, these are nothing but the names that we have. After this, I say that where do I want to insert this label. For the first time I am saying that they need not be inserted inside win, but they should be inserted inside label frame. And what is label frame? What you created above, that is this particular part. So if you observe, these are inserted into the label. What after this? Where to insert it? Well, I just told you that this particular part of the code, is what? This is a window inside a window. So now inside this is row 0, this is rows column 0, column 1, column 2. So 0 0 is for my label 0, this is 0 1, and this is 0 2, this is my 0 1, and this is my 0 2, and that's it. So with the help of this we get this, so totally new level of indexing. So that's what we have. Yes, so is this thing clear to you? Label frame pretty much clear. Okay, and if I want to align it vertically, then again that's very simple, right? I just need to change the row and column, rest everything remains the same. Absolutely no changes over here. Yes, one thing I can show you over here is which I don't like about this is the values are near to each other. I mean, if I just execute this, why are they so much near to each other? I want to give the amount of spacing over there. So I say over here, I'm going to add over here, and while I do my label frames dot grid, row is this is this, and I say over here I want to give some padding to X. Let's say that padding be 20, and some padding to Y. Padding is nothing but adding extra spaces in and around. So if I just give you over here, first of all observe this. This is how compressed it is. Now let me close it and paste the new code, and now you observe this. Well, you can see over here it is still compressed. However, in and around this there is padding. In and around this, if I want padding around labels, I can also do it over here. So I can say over here, let me just confirm pad X and pad Y does it work over here. So this is going to be too much. Rather than saying 20, I think let's this be 3 and 3. So if I execute it, well, yes, you can see around label 1 the spacing has been created, 3 and 3 up and down. So let me have 3 and 3 everywhere. Control V, execute. So yes, much better way of looking at it. So control A, control C, and paste it over here. Perfect. So we understand what is pad X and pad Y over here. Something very useful down the line. That is the reason we talked of it. Okay. So all clear till now. Then we can go on to the menu bar. Perfect, everything clear till now. So we can think of doing the menu bar, and after menu bar we'll be talking of the message boxes. So now menu bar, for the first time you may find it a bit tedious, but trust me, it is actually very simple. So menu bar and message boxes, these are the two things which I want to tell you, and yes, it is going to take at least 25 minutes of our time. So menu bar and message boxes, we want to create a good GUI wherein we can have the menu of our choice. So let's go on to creating a menu bar. Uh, can we make some label flashing? Yes, you can certainly make some label flashing, but for that, at least I don't know it at the moment. So we will just have to Google out to see what can be done for that. And is it really supported by Tkinter? If not, then you will have to go with wxPython or JPython. So we need to introspect it by going onto the Google and looking into the documentation part of it. I have at least not tried this particular part, doctor. So I suggest you can find it on Google. That's pretty simple. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So now, mm, I am creating menu bars now. Okay, so what kind of menu am I going to create? Well, I say over here, first two things would be same. Let me copy few of the things because we are going to require it. I can use this, not everything now. I don't require scroll text. Tkinter import tk is done. I required one more thing over here. Therefore, I say from Tkinter import menu. Okay, my GUI is also done. Let it not be my first GUI now. It will be Python GUI. I'm just changing it. Okay. After this, how to create a menu bar? Hold on. Let me first complete with the code and then I'll explain it to you step by step. So the first thing is what we are going to do is we are going to create a menu bar. What is a menu bar? Well, mm, let me first of all tell you what am I going to do over here. So I'm going to create a widget. This widget, as you know, has the following things. Inside this, I want you to have a file button, and when you click on the file button, new should come up as a drop down. Okay, this is what I am planning to do. So now what I do over here is after doing these things, I am going to create a menu bar. So how to do that? Well, the first thing what we do over here is I say create it by the name menu bar, pass the win object. So automatically in this win object, a menu bar would be created. So I say win or configure, and I want it to be configured. In this we have a attribute which is called as menu, and this menu has to be substituted with what we created above, which is called as menu bar. Now what is this going to do? This is just going to create a simple menu bar. I mean, I don't know whether it is going to work over here. I'll just try because this code is still incomplete, but hopefully it should work. No, it's not working. Now what to do over here is after this, even after configuring, oh, it's not configure, it's config. Configure is different method. No, but still it's not working. No worries. Let us complete the code then. So I say over here menu bar is equal to menu of win, create an object of this. Then I say win.config menu is equal to menu bar, and after doing that I'm going to create a menu. So I say over here I want to create a file menu, and that should consist of the following things to be added inside the menu bar. So I say okay, this is my menu bar. I'll explain everything, just hold on. And inside this file menu I'm going to say I'm going to use the add command, not cascade right now, command. And inside this, I say my label is going to be is equal to new. You'll understand everything. Please hold on. Label is going to be new, and then I say menu bar dot add cascade, and this time I say my label is going to be is equal to file, and my menu is going to be is equal to file menu. So if I paste it over here, first of all let's see the output. What is the problem? Why am I unable to see it? Win.main loop, import tkinter, import ttk, import menu, tk.tk, win.title, then menu bar is going to be is equal to menu of win, win.config, file menu is going to be is equal to menu of menu bar, file menu dot add command. Oh, this is double D, my mistake. Add command label is equal to new, and file menu dot add menu bar dot add cascade label is equal to file menu is equal to file menu. Seems to be fine. Yes, so that was the small mistake. In this file, if I click, I get new. Of course, nothing is going to happen over here. We have not configured it for any action, but yes, we have this created. Now just let me explain you this code slowly and steadily. So now what actually happened inside this is, if you go for explaining this line by line, the first thing, as I told you, it's a bit complicated, but this is clear, this is clear. This is for importing the menu tk.tk win python GUI. Then what is the thing that you are doing over here? Well, what we are doing is we are just creating the main loop event. So I say over here, I want to create a menu bar, and the name of that is going to be menu. It's just like adding any other widgets that you have been adding till this point. Then I say I want my windows, that is my GUI, to be configured with menu bar. Okay, that's fine. So it is just about configuring it so that I can have this over here. Then I say I want to create one more menu which is now going to take this particular object, which is menu bar. This is a pretty standard code for doing it. And inside this file menu, that is inside this file menu, so this entire thing is one menu, and inside this there is one more menu. Inside this I am going to add a command. And what is that command? Which is new. So we are going to add a command which is called as new. Okay, and if you want this to be included inside this, you have to say over here that in this menu bar, this is my menu bar, in this menu bar you want to add cascade, and you want to add this thing inside the file menu. So therefore we say over here menu is equal to file menu and label is equal to file, and then when you loop it, you get this following things. Okay, for the first time you may find it a bit tricky, but you can just consider it as a pretty standard code which is used for putting anything inside this. So we are going to put many things inside it, so you need not worry on that. It is just the first part of it. So that's how you actually do it. I'll not send the code right now, just hold on and then I will send the code. Okay, so we created this. Now there is one thing. Let's say if I want to add one more thing. Okay, let's say if I want to add one more thing. So what I do over here is control A, control C. If I want to add one more thing inside this, what I do is I'm just going to copy this, paste it, and give the label, let's say exit. That's it. Yes, that's it. So if I just paste my code over here, I have just added this line additional, execute, you get this. So now we understand, okay, it's comparatively becoming slowly and steadily easier. Now in between this new and exit there is absolute no line. It's usually whenever we click on any drop down. Okay, whenever we click on any drop down, usually what we have is, uh, if this is my new and this is my exit which is coming, we want a line over here so that we understand that these two are separate. New and exit is not the same thing. So I want to add a separator over here. I'll explain you what it is. Right now just observe how it looks like. New and exit, there is no line in between new and exit, no horizontal line over here. So if I highlight, I come to understand that these two are different things. So I say over here how to do that. Adding it, I'm simply going to add a separator over here between my new and exit. So I say over here that I'm going to add file menu dot add separator. That's it. Yes, that's it. Control A, control C, pasting it. So when I click over here, Now you can see there is a line between new and exit. So that's pretty nice. Now one more thing which I don't like about this is, why is this dotted line coming below file? This line is called as the tear off line. Something like you can tear off the paper from this dotted one, just like when you have in the checkbook there is a tear off line wherein you actually tear off the check. So this is called as a tear off line. I don't want this. It doesn't make sense over here at least. So I want to get rid of it. So what I do over here is I say getting rid of the tear off line. So what I do is, whenever I was actually I did my adding of the menu bar, after doing adding of the menu bar, immediately after this, before I add my new, I say over here that my file menu is going to be equal to menu of menu bar. I mean, this is what we already did above, right? So I say over here file is equal to menu of menu bar, and there is a property which is called as tear off. I say tear off is equal to 0. That's it. So now if I do it over here, I should be able to see that line gone. Yes, line gone. Nothing is going to happen on this. If I click on new and exit, we are going to program it very soon. So let me share with you the code till this particular point now. So this is how I get rid of my tear off line. Now, in the same way, I can add few more things. For example, let's say here I have this GUI. Okay, so let's say this is the GUI which I have. What do I see over here is there is a file. Now I also want to add over here help, and inside that I want about. Okay, so let us do that very quickly. So I say over here Control V. So everything remains the same. Add cascade is also fine till file menu. And now I'm going to add over here. So this time I'm going to call it as my help menu, and the commands are going to be exactly the same. You can just see it will exactly coincide with the above thing. So I say menu of menu bar, peer of is equal to 0. Then I say help menu dot add command. That's going to be my label, which is going to be is equal to about. You can write it in single quotes or double quotes, that's your choice. And then I say menu bar dot add cascade, and inside that I say my label is going to be equal to help, and my menu is going to be is equal to help menu. That's it. So if I take this code over here and I execute it, I get this. Oh, did I get some error? Yes, menu bar. Okay, my mistake. Menu. Where is that menu bar? Yes, menu bar. Rest everything is fine. Activated. This is because of the auto completion feature. This is not activated, right? We have to command, add command, and then add access. It should be yes. Help is added, inside that you have about. Okay. Now actually I want to we cannot configure new. New is, I mean, this is going to be advanced level. It cannot be done in just 3 hour session, but we can certainly think of configuring exit. I want that whenever I click on exit, it actually closes the GUI. So for that, I am going to think of modifying my exit code. So I say over here, okay, let's go ahead with that. So adding a cell, and I say uh, doing operation of quitting on it. Okay. So what did I do over here is whenever this is the same code, whenever you say label, you are going to create a label of exit. I'm going to associate with it a command, and that command is going to be is equal to quit. That is, we have to write a function which is quit. So let us write a function over here for quit. So I say def quit. Let me write the body of this. I say wherever is your GUI open, I'm just going to call a quit function over here. Whichever GUI is open, I'm going to call the quit function. Okay. And I also say that destroy that GUI, standard code. And then I say exit. So now when I copy this code over here, and now when I execute it, well, when you click on file and you click on exit, your program is still running. Do you want to kill it? Okay, that's done. So, I mean, if you actually go over here, it's done. If I execute it once again, file, exit, do you want to kill it? I say, okay, cancel. This time I don't want to kill it. Okay, so you understand over here how this GUI is actually working. It actually exited Python also. So if you want to, I'll just give you this code. Rather, I'll give you this part of the code, this much part of the code, so that you can try off. If possible, everything. Mm, yes. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So yes, things are clear till now. So now we can go ahead, right? Everything clear so far? Very good. So we have last few minutes. What I can think of doing over here right now is I'll show you what are message boxes, warning boxes, and error boxes. Okay, last 5-10 minutes, and then we will wind off with the session. What are message boxes? So this is fine. Message boxes. Okay, so what is basically a message box? I already showed you in the PPT. It is a pop-up window that is going to give feedback to the user. This message box, I mean whatever message box which is going to come as feedback to the user, can be of three categories. First is this could be a informational message box, or this particular message box could be hinting at some potential problems, or this message box could even cover the catastrophic failures, okay, or catastrophic errors. So let us do each of this one by one. So I say over here, I'm going to create a message box. How? So first of all, I say from Tkinter import for me message box as MB, so that I need not write every time message box, message box, message box. Let's say M box. Simple. M box. That is how usually all the reference books do. That is usually how everyone does it. So we have it. Now, next we are going to create a callback function that will display a message box. So we have to locate the code of the callback function now. So I say over here, I'm going to create a callback function over here. So how do I write it? I simply say def uh, my choice. Okay, name is going to be totally my choice. I say msgbox, and I say my mbox dot show info, and let us say it is showing a info that this is Python message info box. So this is the first thing, and the second is going to be the title. So let's say I'll explain you what it is. Just let the code execute. Okay. GUI created using Tkinter, something like that. Okay. After this, what I can do over here is this is all done. I'm going to simply, let's say, create a button. Okay. So how do you create a button? Let us copy the code from above, button and label and command. So the very first we had created a button. Yes. I don't want the name of it because I am not never going to use it. And what is the name of the function is message box, and the text of it I can write it anything. So let us say click me is this, and let me just try using win.main loop, just preparing it really very small. Else I would have preferred adding in that older GUI, but that is going to take time and we are falling short of time. Control A, Control C. Okay, simple code F5. TTK. Oh, we have to write it. TTK is not defined. Paste. What is the problem now? Win is not defined. Oh my god, I missed out so many things this time. Okay, I'll just go at the top and take everything. So because this is done separately, na, that is the reason we require it. Okay, now hopefully everything is fine. Executed. So we didn't get a button because we did not set the grid property. What is wrong with me? So I say dot grid column is equal to 0 comma row is equal to 0. Executed. Ha. Now when I click on this, you can see, first of all, observe the code. I mean, here is the code and here is the GUI. Where is it gone? This is the GUI. Okay. If you observe the code now, so now this particular part, this is clear to us. Let us talk of this when we give a call to this. I say I want to create a button. So I see, okay, there is a button called as click me, which is created. Command is going to be message box at 00. So that's fine. And command is going to be message box. So that gave a call to this function. Inside this mbox.show info, it has printed Python's message info box. That is the title. And the second thing that you write, that is the message that you want to inform the user. Pretty simple to understand. Now, when you just click OK, Control A, Control C, I can share the code with you. Sorry, Control A, Control C. I'll just, where is this thing? Close this. And last 3-4 minutes, guys, not more than that. Okay. So please bear. Now, in the same way, the next thing, let me see if this executes inside this also. Yes, it executes. So we can see it over here also. So we need not go to that GUI now. Just the size of it. Okay. So now after this message, I mean this is message box, precisely I say info box, and I now add, and this time I'm going to not create an info box, but I'm going to okay, that was just a message box. This time I'm going to create an info box, not info box. And how do I do it? Well, for creating a info box, I am going to keep everything as same, but show info is also fine. Then okay, let me also add a warning box over here. Warning, let that be info only. I'm adding a warning box over here. So I say instead of show info, I'm simply going to write over here show warning. And this is, I say, a GUI using Tkinter. That is fine. But I say this is a Python warning box. And I say over here message. Let us give some meaningful message. So I say there might be a bug in this code. Now when you execute this, you get this click me. I click over here. This is what is called as a warning box, this triangle and exclamation mark, which says that there might be a bug in this particular code. And one last type of it which I want to show you is a error box. Okay, so control A, control C, and I paste it over here, and this is a error box. So I say let this be same, this thing show error, and rather than saying there might be, so I say, let's say we have a serious problem that needs to be addressed. When I execute this, again you see this click me. I click on this, and this is what is called as, not as a warning box, this is called as an error box. I need to change the name over here, so error box, so that makes more sense. Sorry, here we have click me, and this is a Python error box. Click OK, and it's done. Of course you can do more configuration over here, but I'm not doing it at the moment. So I think that's what we have for today. So are all these things clear to you? I mean, I'll just send you the code for the last one. Yes. So everything, I mean, I tried the maximum to be covered. In fact, almost everything is covered. So I'm sure that hope so this session was understandable to everyone out here. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Rutuja ma'am, Suhasini madam. Yes, thank you very much, Gayatri ma'am. Thank you, Sudhir sir. Thank you, Vilas sir. Thank you, Dr. Kirti. So on this note, I'm calling it a day from my side. Thank you very much, guys. So, ma'am, I would like to hand over the session.
Thank you very
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Just a moment, sir. Over to you, Lubna.
On behalf of our principal, our college M.H. Sabu Siddiq Polytechnic, I would like to thank Dr. Ingle for a very informative session. And thank you, sir, for sparing time and sharing your expertise with us. It was a very interesting session because we've been checking the chat box as well as the WhatsApp. And continuously the participants are performing their practicals also. So it was a very good
Wow.
session. Hoping to have a long-lasting relationship with you. And we'll be in touch. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you, principal, ma'am. Bye-bye. Bye, all. Thank you, doctor. Bye-bye.